Hello everybody. Happy Friday night. Welcome to my Zen Den. I'm so glad that you could join me here. My name is Mandy Van Havermont and I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! For you that don't, those of you that don't know me. I'm just excited to be here tonight. I'm so happy. I decided that I needed some masculine cards. I was going through my cards and I keep a lot of cards. I have a whole ton of cards and I was going through, I needed a birthday card for somebody, a guy. I have, lots of brothers, lots of brother-in-laws, things like that. And I needed a birthday card. And I was like, oh my word, I have no birthday cards for guys. So I thought it's time that we make some masculine cards again. I don't know, why do we struggle with that? I'm not sure why, but sometimes I think we just like to make the flowery cards and the fun girly cards and the happy cards, and we think, I don't know, guys like simple. And so we've got a few simple masculine cards tonight that I think you guys can adapt to any stamp set. Hello Connie, thank you for joining. So I am going to flip the camera around here and we will get stamping and we will do some chatting, and yeah, let's do that. Hold on one second. Maybe. There we go. There's the button. I found the button. Okay, bear with me while I do my camera flipping. You know how this goes every time, right? All right. Okay, so here's what I've got going on. And both cards are relatively simple. So we are going to start with the first one here. Obviously, we're going to start with the first one, right? And this, you can use any kind of designer series paper for this card that you want to. I'm using the Happiest of Birthdays stamp set, which is a great stamp set just for simple birthday cards, right? We've used it before, nice big sentiments, and that's why I like it for masculine cards. And then I've got some designer series paper. This is from, it's a paper pack that's in the small catalog. It's called Hey Sports Fan. And Hey Sports Fan, sorry I said that really fast. This one's like got the stitching from the baseballs on it. And then this one is like some nice blue wood. So I've got those two pieces. This piece here is cut at 4.5 by 3, and then I've got another square piece that is cut by 3 by 3, and then I've got some pieces of cherry cobbler that I'm going to use to mat these. So this one here is 3.25 by 4 3/4, so it's just a 1/4 inch bigger each direction from this. So then I've got 3 3/4, and I have got 2 by 2.5. And then I've got a piece of Very Vanilla for the inside. That's cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Sorry, I've got one more piece for the outside here. And another piece of Very Vanilla. That's 1 3/4 by 2 1/4. So, and I'll list these measurements out for you in the YouTube video. So if you're watching this live on Facebook, that's awesome. I will also put a link to the YouTube video so that all the dimensions for these pieces will be on there. All right, and then I've got a piece of Night of Navy, 8.5 by 5.5, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. So just a basic card, right? So I'm going to fold and burnish that. So let's do our stamping first. I've got the sentiment that says Happy B-Day, and I thought that was a nice sentiment. It kind of proportions well for that piece of Very Vanilla, that smallest piece of Very Vanilla. And I've got Night of Navy, and these are nice, good, traditional masculine colors, right? The red, white, and blue, beautiful colors. So we're just going to, sorry if you see the top of my head, center that straight down and straight up, just like that. I'm going to move that over just a little bit. I'm over to the edge just a little bit. So I've got two sides of my paper. So I'm going to take advantage of my two sides to my paper, and I'm going to try it again. Well, that one went the other direction too far. Okay, we're going to use that side. it's a handmade card, right? Handmade cards are not always perfect. So I'm going to set that aside because my Night of Navy tends to be a little juicy. So I'm going to let it dry there. So let's build our card. So, excuse me, what I'm going to do is just mat my pieces here. And I love the red, white, and blue, the dark Night of Navy with the dark red. I think it's just a nice, rich color combination. Mat this right on top of the other red square. Can't see what I'm doing. It blended in with the other red. Just like that. And then this will go right on this piece of red. All right. So then I'm going to, I'm telling you, this is like the easiest card ever. And I got it from a card sketch. Again, I think we've talked before about card sketches and how they make building cards just so easy. This was a card sketch that I had found somewhere. So put this right on like that. And I love that little bit that's perfect for a sports fan, for a baseball fan, right? I like that. I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to use some dimensionals to just pop that up a little bit. I'm going to put one in the center too because I don't want the center to sag. We don't want a saggy center. Those things are kicking my butt today. All right, so I am going to put that right in there like that. All right, and then I'm going to, I've got some Resin Star embellishments, and these also come, they come in the same suite, son of a gun. They come in the same suite as this paper does. So they come in that Hey Sports Fan. Like I said, my blue has been my Night of Navy. I just like smudged it. It's been really juicy lately. It's not been drying. I don't know. But there are no mistakes. So we're just going to smudge it all. There. It's like I meant for it to happen, right? I've never done that before. It happens often. All right, so I'm going to take, we've got different colors of stars here. I've got some Night of Navy ones here, so I'm just going to put a few stars right on there because I thought it needed just a little bit more, just a little something. But there we go. That would be perfect for a teenage boy. It would be perfect for a sports fan. This would make a great Father's Day card even. For a baseball loving father. So nice card. And if you want to put some kind of sentiment on the inside, you most certainly can. I'm just going to leave that one blank for right now. And there is card number 1. Like ridiculously easy, right? Love it. Love it, love it. All right. The second card's got a little bit more to it than that. All right. So we are going to be using some blending brushes. So for this card, I've got 2 pieces of a very vanilla, and they are cut, they're a little bit smaller. So 3 3/4 by 5. Okay. And then I've got a piece of, one of these is for the inside, one is for the top panel. Then I've got a piece of Early Espresso, 4 by 5 1/4. So a regular panel. And then I'm using Garden Green, which is not a color that I use very often. But this is cut at 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, scored down the center at 4 1/4. So we will fold and burnish that. And then I am going to be working on one panel here. Set the other panel aside. And I am going to be using 2 stamp sets for this card. I'm going to be using Campology because I really wanted to use these trees right here. Any tree stamp set will work really well with this card, and you'll see why in just a second. But I like this stamp set. It's a very good, it's a good scrapbooking stamp set. if you're into camping and things like that. It's also a great card making stamp set. So awesome set there. And then I'm also going to be using Slim Sayings. I don't believe I've showed you this one yet before. This is in the small mini catalog. The Campology is from the big catalog. The Slim Sayings is from the mini. I'm going to be using this sentiment right there, happy birthday. But I really like this this set, the congrats to the graduate. Love that. And you really are one of a kind. That's actually going to be our inside sentiment. But nice big big sentiments. So love that stamp set. So here we go. I've got some ink here. I'm going to be doing some blending. So I've got Balmy Blue, Soft Suede, and Garden Green. And then I've also got my basic black. Okay. So I am first going to take and open up my basic black, or my tuxedo black, I should say, my Memento. And I've got the sentiment that says happy birthday. Big, long, happy birthday. And I am going to do that right up on the edge right there. Straight down, straight up, just like that. Okay? I'm going to cover this up just so that I don't make a mess, because that happens. And then I'm going to use, this is something that a friend of mine found. It's Post-it labeling and cover-up tape. It's a tape. It's kind of like masking tape, but it's more of the adhesive is more of like a Post-it note, like stickiness. So it works really well. And then it's good to use some kind of paper, grid paper, that you can use the lines that are on the grid paper to line up your, we're going to be doing some masking here. So I've got a piece of my tape, and what I'm going to do is cover up. I'm using the line there all the way down. This works so much better when you can stick your head under the, right over top, all the way down to that. Okay, so make sure that we've got our line straight here. It is not. The beauty of it is I can pick it up because it's Post-it note. This was so much easier when I didn't have a camera rolling, just saying. Okay, one more time. Maybe we're going to go this way. Okay, I think I got it. I think I got it. Woo! The struggle is so real. Okay, there we go. So now it's not only is it masked, but it's also taped down, so it's not going to move. Got a piece of adhesive right there. All right, so I'm going to pull in my blending brushes, and I've got my colors here. So I'm going to start with my soft suede. And when you're using blending brushes, the best thing to do is start off the paper a little bit so that you don't get a blob. So I'm going to start off, and I'm going to put the soft suede down at the bottom and just keep blending and blending and blending so that the lines go away. And then I'm just going to go kind of around the outside too, just to soften up those edges. Not necessarily make them tan, but just to soften them up just a bit. The soft suede really goes well with the very vanilla. Just saying. I like it. Looks kind of, what's that? Sepia tone? Is that the brown pictures? I like the looks of it anyhow. So now I'm going to come in with my garden green, and I'm going to, this is what my stamp, the stamp I'm going to use is this one here. So I'm kind of, this is what I'm going to stamp there. So I'm kind of putting a little bit of green behind my trees there. That's my thought process. So we're just going to blend that in a little bit and blend it down into the soft suede, maybe over to the edge a little. Get that foresty feel, right? And blend it down into the brown. It looks really nice like that, I think. And then I'm going to take Balmy Blue. Same blending brush I blended in my Night of Navy before, and I'm going to blend that up, and that's going to go right over the rest of it. So let's see here. There we go. Now it's looking more blue. And I just think that this is such a fun woodsy color combo. And it doesn't look like the bluest blue in the world, but it does look really nice when we're all done with it. So, all right, I'm going to leave it at that. Close these up so I don't make a mess. And the blending brushes, it's so much fun to just play with the different colors, to try different colors to see how they look. I have so much fun with my blending brushes. All right, so I'm just going to stamp this up, and because it's a bigger stamp, I find it's easier to ink it upside down. Totally up to you how you want to do it. Just make sure you got it good and inked up. And then we are going to line it kind of up on the bottom, and I want it off on that tape just a little bit. I've left that tape on there, and I did it for a reason, just so that I could make sure that I get, so press right down nice and firm. This might be a good one to use a Stamparatus with also. So I just like that. I think that looks so neat. But I want to do one more thing. I thought I didn't want to use embellishments because I didn't want necessarily bling, like shiny, bright bling on a masculine card. But I wanted something in here, and I thought, what could I use? So I took, I've got just an aqua painter. This is just water inside here. If you don't have an aqua painter, you can use like a paintbrush that's dipped in some water, and it'll let you do the same technique, but the aqua painters are handy. So I'm just going to make sure that it's a nice, juicy, wet brush. And I'm going to make sure it stays wet because I'm going to put some water droplets on here. And it's going to make it look like it's got water drops on it, right? And after it sits for a little bit, you're going to notice, because our ink is water-based, so, which is why you can clean it with water. So we're going to let it sit like that, and it gets kind of specks in there. And that's going to take the place of my embellishments that I would maybe put on if I was doing more of a fancy, like bright, girly kind of card. I didn't want, maybe there's some guys who like, you know, what am I trying? Rhinestone jewels. I just didn't want it on this card. So you can kind of see that it's working a little bit here. I'm going to let that dry for just a minute longer, and I'll pull at the tape. And you can see now that I was a little bit off, but not bad. Okay, so we're going to let that dry for just a little bit longer. And while we're doing that, I will assemble the rest of my card. I'm going to pull my Memento ink back in. And I've got the sentiment, "You are one of a kind." And I thought that's good for an inside of a birthday card. So we're just going to center that straight on, just like that. Set that aside. All right, and let's build our card. So I'm going to put some adhesive on here, and this is going to be, let's see, I'm going to flip that over. And I don't know if you noticed why I flipped that over. My fold was just a little bit off. So you can see my fold was just a little bit off. I didn't want that to be on the front side of my card. I wanted that to be on the back side of my card. It's a little easier to open, and it kind of hides that imperfection. Because, you know, everybody thinks we're perfect when we make our cards. Ha ha. Little do they know, we're hiding mistakes all over the place, right? All right, so I'll put this on the inside. Like that. And now I think my my water has dried, my little drops have dried, so you can kind of see how neat that looks. It takes the place of any kind of embellishments. So, looks old and vintage looking. I like it. So we'll center that right on there. Just like that. All right, so there's card number 2. Isn't that cool? I love how I love the blending, the 3 different colors of inks that we blended. I love the little water dots. I think that adds so much, and I don't think to do that often, but I do think, especially on a card like this, that adds so much, just something different. So, all right, let's bring in, I'll get rid of this messy area here. I'll bring in my other cards. So there's 2 ideas for some masculine cards. They just both so happen to be using very vanilla paper. But I thought that they were really very different. One's more of a sporty one, but like I said, you could do this card with any kind of designer series paper. And this one you could do with any tree or any kind of grass or anything like that. I think either one, or any kind of stamp like that. And then a long sentiment up the side, just a little different. So I am going to flip the camera around and say goodbye. Well, hi, Shirley. Good to see you. I'm getting better at this camera flipping thing, aren't I? It's like if you do it for a year or so. So I would like to thank you guys so much for tuning in and getting some ideas. I love your opinions on the cards. If you would drop some opinions on them, on what you like, and if you make any of them, I would love to see them. I love to see if you guys are creating some of the ideas that I have showed you. The Post-it note tape, this here, I got it off of Amazon. I want to say it was like $5 or $6, but there is quite a bit on there. 19 yards. So it's a pretty considerable, pretty decent sized roll. So there's that. If you are watching the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for watching the YouTube video. Hit like and subscribe. It'll let you know when I upload more videos. Otherwise, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. It's the weekend. It's Friday, guys. Woo-hoo, we made it. I will see you next Friday night. Thank you. Bye-bye.